Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and I'm shooting something a little bit different today as I'm out on location. Hopefully you can hear me with the wind, on the banks of the River Mersey, and I'm going to be doing Tranmere's new away kit shoot today. I say kit, it is more of a casual shoot. It is just a shirt, so we're going to have 4 players joining us down here on Rock Ferry waterfront to shoot the new away shirt. Now the shirt does have it is black, which I've seen, and it does have some design within the fabric that is kind of a nod to the shipyard and the nautical kind of heritage of the Wirral, and so this location has been chosen with that in mind. So I'm going to have a little walk around, a little scout. I haven't got any lighting with me. I don't have any lighting that could hack doing an outside project, so I haven't got any lighting with me today. So I'm going to try and give you a little bit of insight into what we're doing. Idea is to shoot in RAW, probably go fairly wide. I'd like to use my 50mm if possible, because I love the results that produces. But anyway, we'll have a little walk around, see what locations we've got. I have got 2 bodies with me, one with the 50mm on and one with a wide angle. I think it's 17 to 40mm, but I'll confirm below if not. And yeah, let's have a little walk around. We've got about half an hour before the shoot's scheduled to start, so I've just given myself a little bit of time to get down here and spec things out a bit. Okay, so as you probably guessed, the wind became a bit of an issue with the audio, and so I've re-recorded the voiceover for this video. This is the location we were working in then. You can see that long slipway running from left to right. That is the first ever slipway to launch boats that was ever built on the Wirral, I believe. And the old rusting pier behind it was also the first pier. So it's quite a historic area. I'm now walking down that slipway, and as you can see, it's very long. It's also very old, as illustrated by the cobblestones beneath my feet. Most recently, this area was used for oil tankers to dock for the old refinery next door. That's what this horrible fence is hiding on the left hand side. All that old machinery is still behind there. There is still a working refinery and dock here, but it's just a few hundred metres along the shore away to our left. There are some great little rusting hulls of abandoned boats here, probably small trawler-like vessels that once upon a time moored here before going out of this little inlet and into the River Mersey. The tide does still come right up into this inlet, so these will be covered at periods of high tide. Now, as far as this shoot is concerned, I'm unlikely to get any boats or anything in the shot, well, except for one, which we'll come to at the end of the video. So the plan is to make it very obvious to the locals where this was shot and make sure that they know and they recognise the background in the photos. So I'm looking for spots to shoot with the pier in the background in all of its rusting, kind of falling apart glory. It's a bit grungy and has a bit of an urbex vibe to it, but I really love the location. I love the kind of dilapidated feel to it, and it's just a nice little something different to certainly what I'm used to shooting. So we would probably get some better shots if we hop down onto the mucky sand on the left hand side, but the problem I've got here is the players that are going to come and model the kit, they are only modelling the shirts, meaning they're going to have their own gear on in terms of footwear and pants or whatever, and so it could be quite expensive known footballers, and I don't want to be at risk of them ruining that. Where still, if they were to slip or jump down and twist their ankle on a rock, they're going to get injured right before the season kicks off, and so I am not contemplating at all getting the players down onto the beach. Any shots we take will have to be from this slipway. Something that I was keeping a watch on here is the weather. Now, as you can see right now, it's pretty cloudy and overcast, and that is actually perfect. As I said at the outset, I don't really have any lighting that was capable of working outdoors without a power supply, or any battery operated lights that are going to be powerful enough to kind of impact this shoot and what I was doing. So as I said, I'm going to be shooting in RAW. I have got a flash gun if required, although again, it isn't really up to the job when shooting outdoors, certainly in the middle of a summer's day like today is, believe it or not. So the cloudy conditions are kind of perfect. Not only does it act as kind of a giant diffuser or softbox for the sun, but it also means the players or the models don't have to be squinting with that bright light. Now, I shall see during the course of the next couple of minutes waiting for the guys to arrive, the sun did actually burst out, and that element became a bit of a nightmare. I'll show you some of the finished shots shortly, good and bad, so you can see the results. But while nobody at all, fans, club, etc., noticed or at least mentioned it to me, I cannot see past the fact that on most of the shots the players are indeed having to squint due to the bright sunshine. Oh well, little I can do about that at this point other than consider what may be able to be done next time if I found myself in a similar scenario. Okay, let's summarise the gear I used on this shoot, and it was really simple by way of bodies and lenses. My main body, the Canon 1DX Mark II. Now if you watch my channel regularly, you'll know I've been unhappy or kind of struggling a little bit with my old Canon 1D Mark IV for quite a while now. Haven't had it for probably 7 or 8 years, maybe a bit longer. Over the summer then, I was delighted to be able to grab a bit of a deal, a real bargain actually on a Canon 1DX Mark II. It is obviously used, but it only had about 16,000 shots on the shutter, and most of the ones you see for sale are probably into the hundreds, thousands of shots. So I was really happy with that. It's in good nick, low shutter count, and was a really good price, covered with a 6-month warranty also. I paired that for this shoot with my trusty old Canon EF 50mm lens. It's a 1.8. It's one of my best purchases ever. I think it cost me about £50 to buy many years ago, and I've used it for all sorts of different things. It's especially good for portrait photography and those types of things. I did also have with me the Canon 1D Mark IV just in case as a bit of a backup, and that was mounted with the Canon EF 17-40 f4 just in case I needed something a little bit wider. If I did get really desperate, I also had a 70-200 f2.8 lens, but I left that back in the car all packed up, and thankfully I didn't need it for this shoot. I know quite a few pros, if you're shooting in a large studio environment and you have the space, a 70-200mm 2.8 lens can produce some great shots when you're doing kind of football team kit shoots and things like that. But obviously on this occasion and the width of the slipway, that wasn't really going to be necessary. So the shoot itself, this is a little bit of footage from the club's own promotional video. Apologies, it's pretty small. As it was only myself and one other person there's no actual footage of me conducting the shoot. This video obviously shows the shoot kind of being done, but with me just out of shot. Now, 5 players actually turned up in the end rather than the 4 we were expecting. That was absolutely fine and the polar opposite of what you usually find on shoots like this. I started by grabbing some individual shots of those players, but it was the group shots that really worked well. Hannah, who is the marketing manager at Tranmere, is great with the briefs that she provides, including the types of poses that she likes and that she has envisaged for the project. So we worked through some of those poses as well as snapping some natural shots as the players kind of interacted and laughed with one another. My favourite shot, as so often happens in these scenarios, wasn't really one that we planned out. As we were walking back toward the car after doing the rest of the shots, we discussed using a small wooden boat that we'd seen in the sand on the beach as another potential location to try. These are those shots on screen now. We did manage to get a boat into the shoot after all, and I think this one in particular is pretty cool. And so that's it. I just wanted to share with you a little bit about what happens with an on-location kit shoot when you're working with a smaller professional club who perhaps don't have those enormous budgets or studios at their disposal. It does also show, I think, whatever gear you have, you can get results from it that go an awful long way and can be professional and can be used in marketing campaigns. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.